I mean, there was no question about taking on the role, honestly. Like, as soon as Wes said, I'm writing something and will you be available at this time? I said, yes, whatever it is. And then reading it, I mean, it was so fun to discover, first of all, this sort of whole world and kind of movie that it is, this sort of like romp and this adventure, this sort of episodic adventure of these characters, you know, traversing this country. And the character just had so much fun stuff to do. It was just the greatest gift, really. The story is of Zsa-zsa Korda, who's the I don't know if he's the hero, he's the protagonist, he's almost an antagonist, but he's this magnate in 1950s Phoenicia in Europe, and I mean, a lot of the fun of the movie for me comes from just seeing his opulence that he lives, you know, his wealth, and the world that he is in, the sphere that he is in, and the sort of freedom and control that he has over everything. And the story is following him trying to pull together this scheme that he's been plotting, which is a very involved, comprehensive scheme involving dams and railways through mountains, and how to make it profitable and not have it collapse in on itself. Bjorn is brought in because Zsa-zsa always keeps a tutor on hand. He's a man of like insatiable knowledge appetite, and he's always got a tutor teaching him about, you know, like engineering or chemistry or what have you, or in my case, insects. He wants to learn about insects. So he's brought Bjorn in as the on-hand tutor, and as the situation escalates, Bjorn's duties start to grow, and he takes on a more important role in the administration. Working with the bugs was great. Each one was a learning experience for me. Wes got me, as a starting gift for the movie, a amazing book by this famous French bug guy called Fabry. I think the book is called The World of Bugs or something, and it was really fascinating. I got really into it actually really fast, like just sitting and getting ready in the morning, reading about like sacred beetles, which are fascinating, and praying mantises. And actually, as I read about a praying mantis in the book before working with them, and I learned that if they do kind of sink their hooks into you, you have to kill it to get it off. Like they just won't release. So when I was working with the praying mantis, I was very worried about that, for my sake and for his sake. I didn't want to feel it, and I didn't want him to have to die. But everything went great. Watching Benicio play Zsa-zsa was so much fun, and I love him in this character in the movie too, which I knew I would when we were working on it, because he brings so much charm and sweetness to this character who's on the page is sort of very, sort of a scoundrel and very untrustworthy in his daughter's eyes, and like a person of very low moral standards. But in Benicio's hands, he's a very sympathetic guy, and actually he's just a very misunderstood guy, and he has his reasons for all the ways that he's operated in his life and in the world. And so it was just nice seeing Benicio infuse every moment of this guy, even when he's being sort of, you know, strong-handed with his children, brings so much tenderness to it underneath. You just always feel a lot of love for this character, and yeah, I find it to be a very moving character and performance. I really loved doing the quicksand with Benicio, because he had to go in there first, and figure out how to navigate this stuff, and then I go in, and then we have to be wearing it for the next sort of 5 scenes of the movie, just caked with this like mud. That was a lot of fun. It's fun to kind of suffer through things like that with another actor. You get kind of all this slop on you in the morning, and you feel some solidarity in that. Mia Threppleton plays Liesel. It was amazing watching her do this. I was really, the whole time, thinking, wow, she's going to be great in this movie, and she is. It's such a nice balance, I think, between her and Benicio. They're bringing such different kind of feeling to this movie and creating this really sweet balance. And I love the moments where you can sort of see him reflected in her. You can kind of feel that she's his daughter, just through little moments of instinct that she shows. It's very fun to watch Wes work because he's such a captain on the set with everybody. I mean, he has, his crew is sort of this like bespoke crew that he's been, cultivating for however, 30 years or something. So there are a lot of people that really become like lifers in his world, and it's amazing watching their dynamic and their shorthands. And Wes is very involved in every aspect of the set. Like everything is run even in a very specific. I feel like he's spent sort of as much energy building the machine of production as he has put into the actual results of the movies. It feels like a very carefully created environment, and so it's great to work in, and you sort of function differently in it than on any other set. I've never sort of had an experience as an actor quite like this one, where you never leave the set as an actor. You don't like go off somewhere. There's nowhere to go, really. There's no trailer or room for you. So you just pull up a chair and kind of sit and watch things going on, even if you're not involved in them. The worlds in this movie created by Wes and Adam Stockhausen were unbelievable, and like the railway line in particular, and the train tracks in the tunnel felt like it was like a mile long. I mean, when we first went in there, it was unbelievable. I've never seen a soundstage that big. This was in Berlin at Studio Babelsberg, and they had like this enormous stage, and the track like ran the length of it, and they had a real train on it. That was just one, and then the airplanes that we shot in, and Zsa-zsa's home, and the ship. I mean, I really couldn't believe it. When I was reading the script, I was wondering how we were going to do this movie, and wondering if Wes was going to do a sort of forced perspective thing or a quite two-dimensional, plane, and make it look sort of, impressionistic or something. But it was actually very immersive, and they really brought the worlds to life, and it was way bigger than I thought it would be. So it was staggering to walk onto. I personally can't wait to see it with an audience, because I think it'll be a really fun ride with an audience. I've only seen it alone with my wife in a room, and we had a lot of fun, but I think with an audience, it'll just be fun to see, how it's playing, and see where people are laughing, and where things become emotional, because I actually find the movie very moving. So, and especially at the end. So I think it'd be a very good physical experience to see it with an audience. And it's just, I think on that world on that scale, and that, on a big screen, it would just be, fun to disappear into. It's a fun world to go into.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. ScreamingMovieNow.com